What is up, guys? My name is Undead Freak 78. Today we're going to talk about the season 4, episode 5 premiere. What did you watch? Like always, we already have one person in here. We're going to wait a few minutes, or not really a few minutes. We're just going to wait a few seconds. Let people get in here. Like always, we're going to talk about this episode, talk a little bit about next episode. And take questions. And I am going to touch a little on my final episode, just a little bit. Sadly, Kate, I wasn't there to see it with all you guys. I was busy doing something. Then I look at the time, and I'm not at my house. I'm like up the road, and I look, and I'm like, oh my god, it's 8:10. And I'm with my friend, and I'm like, we have to get back down there. He's like, well, let's go up the road, and then turn around and go back down. I was like, no, we have to go back. I can't miss it. I gotta watch. Missed you too, kid. Missed all you guys. So I literally, I'm on a bike, and I am pedaling hard down through here. I almost run off the side of the road because I wear a cowboy hat around, and it was like down here, and like I couldn't see, and then I look up and I almost go off the road. But everything's good now. If everybody remembers last week, I talked about that. There will be a winner announced next week for it. And yeah, one of you will have this hanging up on your wall soon. But anyhow, let's get into the episode. So starting off the episode, I don't really remember. Like I said, I didn't get to see it myself. And I said last week after I edit it, I don't watch it again. So that one was edited 2 months ago almost. I don't remember much of it. Let's see. So, okay, yeah, it starts out with John Anthony. They're in the city. John's right behind him. They stop at signs and wondering where it leads, and like if the people that wanted Anthony to come there was gonna, take him. And John gets mad because John thought Anthony brought him to a supply run, but he didn't. He lied to John, and he's like, I tried to save you from Samantha, this and that. John gets mad, and Anthony threatens to kill him because, of course, John threatens to slit his throat. So he goes to shoot him, but don't. They leave. Then we, of course, see the intro credits. We come back from those. Samantha and Scott's talking. And Scott tells her how Anthony took John to the city. Samantha said she was going to tell Anthony the plan, that Scott was right, but it was too late. Anthony was gone. So, Samantha does get mad at Scott. Very mad at Scott. She does punch him, and it's completely understandable, but not at the same time because it was her fault in a way. But at the same time, yeah. Anyhow, so after that, we go back to the city. We're with Anthony and John again. They come up at Plague People, and we get to see them talking for a second about, how it works. And Anthony's like, I've fought many of them before. As long if they touch your clothes, it don't matter. Then so forth and so forth. So they're like, okay, let's go. They go and fight them. And at the end, it's kind of a sign that they're going to get better. Because, they're like, we did it together. And so we go back from that scene back to Samantha and Scott again, I believe. If I'm right, we do. I forgot what they was talking about. It was to do with the conversation. I don't really remember. I'm sorry, I don't remember. I haven't seen the episode a lot. So I'm just going to move on to the next scene where they come back to the city. Anthony and John, they get to the church where the signs end, where there's a bunch of destroyed stuff. They get to talking for a minute, and John upsets Anthony and says, like, go, get in the van and go. And John's like, they'll kill me. And Anthony's like, tell them not to give me 24 hours. They just start to get better right at the end because Anthony turns around to go, and John apologizes for everything he's done. But when Anthony turns around to say it's fine, we see a ninja shoot at them. Thing is right after that scene, it's like a few hours of time skip. Or really probably not a few hours, I think it's an hour or two ahead. We see John come back, and it's just John. And Samantha's, asking him, "Where's Anthony? Where's my fiance?" He doesn't answer. The episode ends right there. So that's what we're going to learn next week. We are going to kind of get, I think we are going to learn in the opening minutes. No, we'll get hints in the opening minutes at what happened. We're not exactly going to figure it out until after that, but we are going to figure out what happened. Did John kill him? Did the ninjas do it? What happened during that encounter in the city? Is John a spy? That's something else we can think now. So we're looking forward to that. Sadly, it's my last episode, but it will get better. The show is going to move on greatly. Hey, Dan, I saw your review go up, but it was right when I started this, so I'm going to watch it right after I finish up here. My heart was really pounding this whole episode, especially since I drank a monster right before the episode. Got to have the energy before you watch it. I do want to say next week will be emotional, so get tissues ready. You're going to want them. It's going to be hard to get through the episode, and it's going to be so breathtaking, especially the way it goes. It's gonna put everybody to tears. The way it ends, everybody will be put to tears. I am just gonna say that. Dan, if it's possible, I really would love to see a live reaction from you. Your reactions are the best. Like in the past, how you done season 2, episode 10. I think you did the mid-season finale of season 3. You tried to do the season 3 finale, but you said that your camera cut off, if I can remember right. But I have to see it because you have the best reaction to this stuff. So if you're able to, if you feel like it, then try to do a reaction to it. All right, thanks, Dan. I'm telling you, your reactions and reviews, they're the best. There's been people that's reviewed it in the past, but I am just going to say yours is the best that I've seen. And to Diego and Victor and all you guys, yeah, you guys did good too. But you kept up with all these. You've done them for what, the past year now? Usually I would expect somebody to give up because the playing ain't that good. It's like the type of shows you have back in the old days. Like in the old days, they had those shows that were black and white with the word cards on them. My show's basically like that, but the words are during the action, not on a card. So like that's what I like to refer to, and that's what my grandpa referred to him as. He's like he said, because I was letting me and my grandmother, we was watching them last weekend. We watched season 1 and 2, and because on tape, I have them somewhere. I forgot where I put them. Tapes will start coming out soon, but anyhow, he's like, it's like those things back in the old days. He said some name I don't remember, but I like to refer to it as that. So my show is basically like classical back in the old days type deal. But anyhow, enough of me talking. I'll get more into details about my final episode for next week after I take questions. If you have a question, ask them, ask away. I will try my best to answer them. But, of course, I can't answer a question on, is Anthony going to die? Is Anthony going to live? I can't answer that. So, think up a question that I can answer. And even if it's one you don't know if I can answer, ask it anyhow, and we'll figure it out. So, have any questions? We're going to go ahead and take those. Then I'm going to talk a little bit more about my exit episode. Can't reveal too much. I want it to be, I don't want it spoiled. So I'm going to try to keep my mouth shut about good things. It is scheduled now. So once this is over, you can go and see the scheduled part where it'll like count down how many days. You can go see that. The synopsis is there. It kind of gives hints at stuff. But at the same time, it could be misleading. Could not. Who knows? Who will be the main character at the departure of Anthony? We ain't going to see a character fully ever again step up to what Anthony was ever again. Samantha's going to take his role, but it ain't solely going to be her. Like how this season we've seen a lot of Anthony. We've seen a lot of him, and that kind of takes scenes away from other characters. We're going to see characters get a lot more scenes in now, and that was the challenging thing about writing the rest of the season, is figuring out, okay, characters have never had that much, and they are now, so how am I going to do that? How am I going to fit whenever I only have small stuff to go off of? What am I going to do? I ain't even finished writing the season yet. I got one more episode to write, 3 more to film, and then it'll be done. But there will not be nobody that will ever replace what Anthony was in the show. Not ever. It's not the character's show. It is everybody's show. It is not about just Anthony. And I mean, I'm pretty sure I've started proving that ever since I've started showing scenes where he wasn't in, or episodes that he wasn't in. There's been a few of those. But, and some of it in season 3 that was to get everybody ready for my upcoming departure, to start getting used to Anthony not being around anymore. Even though he was still around, it was sometimes he wasn't, and it's going to get people used to it. So that was the reason for it back then. But so yeah, no character will step up as the lead that Anthony was ever again. We will never see another Anthony in the show. Although we are going to see if Samantha don't die, because we know what happened to the last pregnant lady on the show. We're going to get either see a son or daughter of Anthony. And so, yeah, should I watch the episode? Is it good? Yes. You probably don't want to continue watching this if you haven't seen the episode. It's a good episode, especially at the end. I'm not saying that for you to skip to the end. You need to see it all. But if anybody's here right now and you're trust me, if you don't want spoiled, hurry and go back and watch it. This stream will be up. It'll be up for you to watch afterwards. So yeah. It's probably best you go watch the episode. All right. If Corey was still alive, what do you think he would be like now? So many years since the pilot episode. Sometimes I think about that, and most of the reason why, if anybody's kept up with the book series on Amazon, Corey survived. Spoilers here if you have not. All right, see you, Facade. But spoilers here for the book series. Corey actually survived his original death. So we're going to get to see that. We're going to get to see some version. All right, yeah, that's fine, Facade. I'll talk to you in a little bit. But we're going to get to see some version of what Corey would have been like on the show in the books. Which also means that, who knows, since Corey's still alive still, Anthony could die at some point in the book. But no, if he was still alive in the show, I would say that past Scott, he would have been like Garrett was before Garrett was killed off. He would have been the Garrett of the show to this point, or probably up until sometime in season 3. he would have tried to stop Anthony from killing Scott, and he probably would have been able to stop Anthony, considering they would have been together for so long by then. He would have been able to stop Anthony, and then they would have tried to work something. I say the fight would have still happened. We probably would have never ran into Victor. Or we probably would at some point later in the series, but, we probably would have run into the Ninjas first, because Corey would have been with Anthony in the season 3 premiere and been able to keep him from getting captured. I think, though, let's say that Anthony still got captured and such, Corey was still alive. After the events played out where Derek was killed, where Olive was killed, where Anthony was almost killed, I believe Corey would have probably changed into he would have gotten dark. He would be dark at this point in time. And honestly, I believe it would have been him that went against Anthony, because he would have turned dark. And instead of John at the end of the season, it would be like Corey wouldn't want Anthony trusting people. Because Anthony went back to not killing unless they had to, and John didn't like it. Corey would have been the same way. That would have been, so right now, what's between Anthony and John would have been between Anthony and Corey, which kind of would have been more interesting to see, because they've known each other. They would have known each other for years, longer than he knew John, or Anthony knew John. It would have been interesting. But yeah, so he would have probably been dark. Does anybody have any more questions? Will there be any hallucinations of past characters in Anthony's final episode? You don't have to say who, if there is. Let me think how to answer this without saying if there is or isn't. We're not going to see a hallucination. We won't see a hallucination. But we will see some form of a character return next episode. And I'm just going to go ahead and say that one's returning, because if you go into the description of the scheduled premiere for next week, you'll see that it says returning character. Now, like I said, in some form they'll return, which means it don't necessarily have to be hallucination. There's plenty of stuff like hallucinations, fever dreams, visions, even though nobody knows sci-fi elements here, so nobody's going to see into the future. But we will see some form of a character return. And actually, to think of it, we'll see one hallucination, maybe. We'll see one hallucination. It'll be right towards the end. And it's a beautiful view as well. And when you see it too, you'll be able to tell Anthony's final minutes are upon him. Not, like I said, who knows? Maybe he doesn't die. Maybe something happens, some miracle. You'll be able to tell when his moments are coming to end. And when, how long will it? I'm happy to say it's the longest episode of the series at 27 minutes long. 27. That is the longest. I think this season 2, episode 4 was the longest, I believe, at 20 minutes and 40 some seconds. But now we're at 27 minutes and I think 30 seconds. I am happy to say that we finally are going to see an episode. So that means it's like, what did I say? I remember saying that episodes from 8 minutes to 20 are normal episodes. Or no, it was from 8 to 15 are normal. Anywhere from 15 above is extended. So it's going to be a 17-minute extended episode. Or no, I said normal ones are 20 now. So, well, no, we are going to see a few more non-20 ones this season. Probably ones around 15 minutes. So I'd like to say this season's average is about 15 minutes. Anywhere above is extended. So yeah, about 5, 7, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12 minutes longer than normal. It's going to be great. I've watched it over and over. That is one episode I went back and watched. I don't watch any of the other ones, but I went back and watched this so many times. And I'm going to admit, I've watched at least probably 7, 8. The first 3, I teared up at the episode. Like I said, and if me, the creator of the episode, the writer of it, the filmer of it, the character in it, the one doing the whole show, it tears up of an episode, I'm telling you, you are going to tear up in this episode. You need tissues. You really will. It's going to be horrifying, sad, horrifying. It'll keep you on the edge of your seat the entire episode. At the end, right at the end, right before the end, right before the last 2 minutes, I say, we are going to get hope for our characters about the future. But the rest of the episode is sad. And I'm not saying that they're getting hope about Anthony for a future. It's not what I mean by that. I don't want people confused. There's multiple things they could get hope about, and it's going to be amazing of the setup for what's to come. So what has been your favorite moment of the whole series? Mine personally, the whole season 2 finale. What has been my favorite moment? There is a lot of favorite moments. I definitely would. I would love to say that. And I'm not going to say this because it's my final episode. I'm saying that at least my first. There was a moment I had between me and the actor, Broken Tea Time 87, also known as Rebel Tea Time 87. When we was done filming mine and his last scene together, I was talking to him before, I took my leave to go edit and stuff, and before he took his to go. And I was talking to him. I was like, thank you. You have been here for a year. You have helped me out so much with this. You played so many characters when you didn't have to. You never gave up. And I was like, this is our, and I don't think I told him this before we started it. I don't remember, but I do remember saying, this is our last scene ever filming together. This is the last one we'll film together as me being an actor again. I was like, I'll still be filming it, but this is our last scene acting together on this show. And I could tell he was getting emotional, and I don't blame him. I was too while I was saying it, because when you think about it, 4 seasons in 2 years, 2 long years. I think it was right after about half a year after I joined YouTube, I decided, you know, past 2 years have just been amazing. The people I've met during this, the friendships that have been made and stuff. It's something that's been amazing to witness. I still will, but I'll never be able to witness it as an actor again, because where I need the break from it. Let's see, man, they didn't got me upset. Why did you do this to me? Oh, let's say the story did this. The story did this. It's going to be good. It's going to be worth it. That ending will be worth it. Like I've said the past few weeks, I possibly won't be the host anymore of talking about the plague after episode 6. That it'll possibly be someone else, and it'll be pre-recorded from now on if that happens. I might still do it. I might not. But it's being decided as we speak, because I don't know if I want to leave both, because I still want to be with the plague family, which is you guys, the fans. I still want to be able to interact somehow with the series to you guys, because I owe it to you. You guys have devoted your time throughout the past 2 years to this show, and so I owe that. And even though it ain't me staying, it may be me staying with talking about the plague to talk through the episodes with everybody. Now, next week it's going to be, it's put together well, and the exit is something how you would expect Anthony to go out. That I'm just gonna say that my exit is how you would expect him to go out, how he would want to go, and I'm gonna miss it. I really am. I mean, like, this is literally the last time I can talk about even being on the show, because the episode ain't out yet. But next week, I won't be able to talk about it as being an actor on the show. It'll just basically be like, well, these guys did this. These guys made this happen. Not Anthony done this, Anthony done that. I chose to make my character blah, blah, blah. No, it won't. There won't be no more, Anthony this, Anthony that. It'll start being Scott this, John this, Samantha this. Of course, those who survive. We are going to see heavy deaths throughout the second half, even though we're not done with the first half. I am going to say we're going to see some deaths, and they're not going to be pretty when they happen either. Not at all. So we have 2 minutes left. I just want to hurry and talk about this in the background real fast, like I did before. This was designed by the Diego Tuber. And will there be an intro change after episode 6? Since episode 6 will be your departure. It won't change big. There won't be no image changes. It just won't show my name. It won't show Anthony's name and how I act for him. Like, it'll only say Samantha this time. It won't say Anthony no more. It might change. It might not. I don't know yet what I want to do. But it's definitely, if it don't change, it just ain't going to say Anthony Undead Freaks in me. It won't say that no more. It won't have that. It'll just be Samantha on the title card. Just like how Blake is still in it. Blake is still there in it, but his name ain't on it now because he's gone. He's deceased. He's out of the show. There will not be any big heavy intro change. Just my name is no longer in it. But of course, for creator and showrunner and executive producer and that stuff, my name is still in it for that. But anyhow, I'm going to talk about this real fast before we close up. I have a minute to go. This was designed by Diego Tuber. Thanks again for it, Diego Tuber. And I put it onto a board, put a thing at the top for you to hang it on a nail. One of you guys can win this. I will announce the winner next week. Everybody who has commented in a Plague episode in season 4 or who's participated in the talking about the Plague live streams or any Plague video related to season 4, you have a chance to win it. So if I was you next week, I would, if you haven't ever commented in an episode or talked in the live stream, I would do that so that way you have a chance to win this, because I'll do the drawing live on Talking About the Plague to make it fair, to show you everybody's names will be put in it, who's participated. Thank you for participating in season 4. And, I got to close this out. See you guys next week.